Good morning, YouTube. What's going on? Sunday morning, calling for a little rain here in Michigan. So we need it. We need it bad. So I'm not sure when I'm going to get to editing this video, but yeah. So I got a project today. We're going to pack the bearings on the Beercraft. I think it's a maybe 1,800 pound or 2,200 pound Shore Landr trailer. The rating 1,800, 2,200 pounds. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I'll show you guys how to do one side. It's pretty simple. Another thing I want to mention is if you're from the Wyandotte area, we went to the Swinging Pig last night. It was awesome. Really good food down there. A bunch of food trucks. Everything was smokers everywhere. It was awesome. So, but here we go. I got the setup going a little bit, guys. So I'll bring you right along with us. Gotta get these caps off. I usually just use a small mallet. I have a nice little stool I sit on. So you just work these back and forth. It's your cap for your bearing. Leave that there. Get the tire off. Oh. These bearings, the grease definitely seem better. I don't know if these ever been done. Alright guys, when you're doing this, I'm going to go get I usually bring a whole roll of paper towel out here and I'll lay a piece out on the floor that I'll take all my parts out in. Let me get the tools I need and I'll show you. Alright guys, take and wipe the grease off the front here so you can find the pin. I usually just wipe it off good enough to find the pin. There's a pin that holds your nut on. Bend that down. It's just a cotter pin. Pull it out of there. Just like that. I lay everything down on a cloth or a piece of paper towel. I don't have any gloves. Usually I wear rubber gloves when I do this because it's a messy process. Take your nut off. Should back right off. Behind your nut will be a washer and then your bearing. Oh, these are dry. These are terrible. So here you have it, guys. Yeah. There's your washer, your bearing. Your inner bearing will be in here. I'll show you how to get that seal out and get that bearing out. And I'll show you how we wash it up. Let me go ahead and get it set up. A lot of times, guys, I'll take and use a slide hammer to get these out, or I'll take and drive a chisel in here and work them out. Lately, I've just been clamping my hub in my vise, and I have a seal puller here, and I'll just pop it like that and work it out of there. And there you have it. So we'll come over here to the workbench. We'll lay this out. This is the rear bearing. This is the dust seal. I gotta run over to the marina here in a minute and go get some. I'll show you the hub. This is your hub. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clean everything out. New seal, obviously. Clean your nut. Clean both your bearings really well. Right here, guys. This is with boat trailers. This grease, you can see, had water getting in it. It's thin. I'm surprised these bearings wouldn't have made it very far. They're pretty dry in the races where the balls roll. So, alright, I'm going to get it cleaned up. There's several different ways you can do it. First, you're going to want to wipe them off. You can use parts clean or soak them with parts clean, or you could just wipe them off like this and use your bearing packer and push all that old grease out of there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to soak them in my ultrasonic cleaner for a while. I clean these up really well. Then I'll show you how I use my bearing packer, and I'll show you how I drive the seal back in there. See, inside this hub here, you're going to see a bunch of grease come out. Clean this out real well. Obviously you want it spotless in there, so all your new fresh grease. So alright guys, let me finish cleaning this up off camera and we'll pop you back on once I get them ready to pack. One thing I did forget to mention is this is like a bearing buddy setup. It's a spring loaded where the grease goes in here and pushes up against the hub. And the theory is as it's rolling, it'll push the grease into the bearings and into the hub. This is just my 2 cents. You can use your own opinion, but it doesn't really grease the rear bearings. Or if you have a rear bearing seal that's leaking, especially on a boat trailer, you're going to get water in there and it's not going to be good. So I just pack my stuff every couple of years or every year, depending on how much I use it. But one thing I wanted to point out to you guys, if you have one of these and you got definitely waterlogged grease, take your grease gun and pump it up and just make sure that you push some of the old stuff out. Don't have to push a lot out, just make sure you get a little bit out. You can see it's red grease, so I mean, just want to make sure that it's not pushing the old contaminated grease into your new grease, especially if it's a waterlogged grease like I said. But just a little tip. I mean, that's just the way I do things, but you're more than welcome to do them how you'd like. It's kind of an interesting one on this one. These bearing buddy caps, or whatever you want to call them. I'm trying to see if there's a name. Auto Lube. Something, I can't read it. Oh, Accutech Auto Lube. These are made of plastic. This one broke right off. So I'm going to take a chisel or something and try to get the rest of this damn thing out of here. I'll have to go buy one. There you go, you can see. Yeah, it's stuck in there. I've never seen these made of plastic before. And I've packed a lot of trailer bearings, so I'm not really sure. It's a pretty heavy plastic, but as soon as I touched it to get it off, it just shattered in my hand. So be careful not to hit that bearing. There we go. Alright, now let's get it cleaned up. I ultrasonic cleaned my bearings. They came out pretty good, but we're going to clean them out a little bit more, make sure they're not pitted or anything or tore up. You can see I got my hub soaking in here. My parts washer. I'm running purple power in here. I'll take the hose, I'll turn it on like this. I'll have them running in my hubs. When I get it adjusted right, I'll have it running in there like that, and I'll take my little brush and I'll brush all that old grease out of here. These I'll dump out into here, and the same thing. I'll clean them up with that little brush. Once I get them all out of there, I'll blow them out with my blowgun, then I'll pack them in my packer. I hit these with parts cleaner, sprayed them out over there in my parts wash. Now I'm just going to go ahead and blow a little compressed air through them. Just like that, guys, we're ready to pack them. You don't have to do all this, but being the condition these were in, I really wanted to get them nice and clean. Check the races, check inside the hubs where the bearing runs, the race in there. You know, check all the balls, make sure these ain't all pitted up. These are actually Timken bearings, which is good bearings. So let me show you how I run them through my packer, and we'll get them back in there, and boom, on the boat, we'll be done. You're gonna drop your bearing in, just like this. Take your packer. I'm using high temp Mobil 1 red grease. Give it a push down. Might have to do it a little bit, work it in there. Just like that. You guys will see the grease is pushing through. It's all nice, brand new, clean red grease. High temp. Take your bearing out. Drop it in the back of your hub, like so. And I'll show you how we drive the seals in. I got it. Alright guys, here's the seals. They're 1.25" seals. I usually take a flat block of wood since I don't have a seal driver, and I'll slowly work my seals in. Just like this. boom, as you can see, seals in. I know it's not the proper tool, but it works good for me. So sometimes I'll just take a bucket, I got a big bucket of grease. I'll put a little extra inside the hub. And then you don't have to do that, but I do. I'll put some in this hub, pack those front bearings, lay them in there, and I'll show you how we put them back on the trailer. Here's the hub, all ready to go back on. Bolt, make sure you put your washer right there. So all you're gonna do is hold it, your bearings are in on both sides, your seal, bearings, washer. You're gonna slide it on, like so. You take your nut. Once you get your shafts all cleaned up and everything, guys, all new grease, everything's really clean, this stuff will just go right together. Take your nut, just finger, you just want to get it to where it's just stopping. Line up your cotter pin hole, boom, just like that. Take your cotter pin, turn it, turn the cotter pin. I guess we'll go this way with it. Don't really matter because we're not using the bearing buddies. Like that. Bend your cotter pin. Take your cap. Gently put your cap in there. I like using this old leather mallet I have. Keeps from tearing it up too bad. That's it, guys. That's all that's to it. I eliminated the bearing buddies because when I went to the marina, they just wanted a ton of money for the bearing buddies, and in my opinion, when it comes to a boat trailer, since it's in and out of the water, I like to either pack my bearings every year or every 2 years, unless I'm going on a lot of trips up north. When I'm putting a lot of miles on it, then I for sure will do every year. But that's just kind of my theory with bearing buddies, how I feel they don't. Yeah, I think they're good, but I don't think they're the best option when it comes to not having to pack your bearings. So I just, every year, like I said, or every 2 years. So I just eliminated them. These caps were $5 compared to, I think, $39 they wanted. Could have got them on Amazon, but I want to get this done. So let me get the other side on, guys. That's probably going to wrap up this video. I did want to show you on this video, I got some things I'm working on the trailer tongue. I went and bought a jack, as you can see right here. This trailer's really not made for this boat, so this is kind of really close to my car. I don't know if I'm going to get an extended hitch or what, or my truck I should say, but I want to lop it off maybe, because I don't want my tailgate coming down and hitting it. I don't know, I'll just do that on my own. I'm going to mount a jack right here, because the front end is getting a little heavy. It's got a 1 7/8 ball. I went and bought a new receiver right here. I'm going to go over to a 2-inch ball, plus that thing's bent. Some idiot jackknifed it, I'm assuming. I did get all my troller in. My battery wires are not hooked up to my battery yet. I got an on and off switch. If you can see up in there, I got a 60 amp breaker mounted. Everything's wired through it. So like I said, I'll get this side on, and once I do that and get the trailer tongue straightened out, I'm gonna do some videos on my fishing gear and how I'm gonna set it up, and then we're gonna take you guys out fishing. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.